If you're using Google TV, did you know there's an app that nobody seems to be talking about that lets you remove every single ad, customize the entire interface, and it's totally free? I've got your back, guys. I'm going to show you how to install it, how to set it up, and how to transform the entire look and feel of your Google TV. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk, and let's jump right into it. I want to flip over to my Google TV. I've got an ONN box from Walmart. I've got my remote right here. It's a fresh install, so I've logged in with my Google profile, but nothing else is installed on this box. And let me just point out, one of the beautiful things about Google TV is that you can, in fact, replace the main interface. They call it the launcher, and you can install a different launcher if you don't like the one that Google puts on there. So this one has a lot of ads built in, which a lot of people don't like. It does have a lot of pre-built suggestions in here, which a lot of people also don't like. So you can replace this with an entirely different launcher. I did a video recently on one called ProjectIvy, which I love. You do have to sideload that one, but here's a link to that video right here. The launcher we're going to be installing today that I don't think enough people are talking about is called Monet. And the cool thing about this one is that for most of us, on most Google TV boxes, it's inside the App Store. So go all the way up to the top of the screen, tab over to where it says apps, and now we'll go down to the search bar, click in that, and type in Monet, just like the artist, M-O-N-E-T. Hit the search button and you should get your first result, which will be the Monet launcher. You can see it right there with the little house on it. We'll click on that. And again, for most everybody with most normal Android boxes, Google TV boxes, you should have the option to install it. If you don't, you can still sideload this. I did a video on how to sideload apps, and I've got a link to the app itself where you can download that APK file down in the description, so check that out. But hopefully, for most of you, you have this option right here to install it. And it says right there, tired of a cluttered, ad-filled TV home screen, Monet is a Material U launcher for Android TV and Google TV that turns your home screen into something you actually want to look at, built entirely for the remote. So it's a new home screen, a new launcher. It says, unlike other TV launchers, Monet shows no ads, no sponsored rows, and no tracking, and needs no account. Just your apps, your style, and a home screen that feels new every day. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? So let's install it. This is relatively new, just recently added to the Google Play Store here on Google TV. So I'll click the install button. It's got 4.6 stars. We'll give it a second to install. It shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. All right, there we go. About 2 minutes later, it is officially installed. Let me hit the open button and we'll explore this together. This is the first time I'm installing Monet fresh on this box. The first thing it's going to do is ask you for some permissions. Allow Monet to read all TV listings available on your device. Of course, we want to allow this. Allow Monet to access the device's approximate location. I'm going to select while using the app, which I think you should do the same. Allow Monet to find, connect to, and determine the relative position of nearby devices. Now, I'm not sure this is something it uses, maybe for certain remotes, but I will select allow since it's asking for that. And there we go. All right, now we are in the introductory screen for Monet. Welcome to Monet, a new launcher for your Android TV. 3 short steps and the screen is yours. So let's go. All right, set the default launcher. Now what this means is you want to tell your Google TV box that this is your main launcher. So when you hit the home button on your remote, for example, it takes you to this instead of the old launcher. So that's what it's telling you to do here. And it's saying that you've got to open your settings and change the default launcher. So I'll hit open settings. It should jump over to a settings screen here, and there it is right there. And you can select what is your default home app. You've got Google TV, of course, which is the main Google TV interface. Then you've got Monet and then some sort of setup wizard. So I'm going to select Monet and it jumped me back to the home screen. So let me see if I go back to Monet, which should be here in my bar, and it should pick up where we left off. Okay, so there we go. We're good to go. Now, it says Monet uses an optional accessibility service so your launcher stays reliable after home stock launcher returns and standby wake. So essentially what it's saying is it uses the accessibility settings in your Google TV to make sure that Monet maintains its status as your main launcher. This is kind of a quirk, and we had to go through this with other launchers. So open accessibility, and it's going to tell you exactly what's going on here in terms of what accessibility does. I'm going to select agree and open settings. And then now I want to go down and I want to find all the way at the bottom of the menu. You can see it says Monet and it says off under the accessibility menu. So I simply want to go into here. I want to enable this. It'll say, do you want to use Monet? I'll say, okay. Now Monet is added to my accessibility settings. That's all you got to do. It's pretty simple. You can also navigate there directly through your settings menu, but the app took you right there, made it nice and easy. Okay, that's it. Monet is set up and it says click here. So take a look. This is very different than what we're used to, and this is the Monet home screen. So the first thing you'll notice is there is some sort of recommendation bar up here. I am logged into Netflix, so it looks like it's recommending a couple of things from Netflix, but we can play with this. We can turn this off if we want. I'll show you that in a second. Then we have what looks like some sort of customizable favorites bar. Underneath that, we have all of the apps that are installed on this Google TV. Again, not a lot installed. This is a clean install, so these are apps that were installed by default on this Google TV box. So let's first go up to this little favorites bar here. We have a plus sign, and take a look. We can add our apps. So I'll add Netflix. I of course like YouTube, and let's throw Tubi in there, and I'll hit done, and there you go. So our apps are now populated into that favorites bar, and you also saw the option in here to create a folder, which is kind of cool. So I can create a folder, and I'll call this, I don't know, I'll just call it fave, but you could create different folders for streaming apps, for content apps, etc., and I will add Disney Plus. Let me see if that works. So yeah. So put Disney Plus into the main one. Looks like I have to go into the favorites folder here that I created and then add the apps in there. So let's, for example, put Instagram and Prime Video into that favorites folder. And then now we've got the folder right there and it loads up that folder. Pretty cool. Cool way to kind of sort out all your different apps. What I'm realizing too is that you can't put apps in the main favorites bar and in a folder. It's one or the other. So the concept here is that you're going to set up different folders and just organize your apps in those folders on the favorites bar, not necessarily copy them into multiple folders. But you can play with that and see exactly how that works. Let's go up into the settings, and I want to walk you through some of the settings. There are a ton in this launcher, by the way, so I'm not going to have time to go through every single one, but I want to show you some of the main important ones here. Let's click on settings, and you'll see right away you've got the system settings on the top. That'll take you into the Google TV system settings. We don't want to do that, but we'll start with the appearance. We've got background and theme. Under background, look at all these cool options we have. Different background sources, weather and ambiance, Reddit wallpapers, movie and show posters. You can change the blur, you can change the brightness, you can change rotation settings, you can manage storage, and then you can change the background based on this gallery. There you go. I want to go up and play with one of these ones. The weather and ambiance one sounds really cool. So I want to use this as my background, and I'll use your current weather. So let's go back to the home screen and see exactly what that looks like. So now it's using, oh, that's cool, current weather for my location. Remember when it asked us for our location settings when we first set it up? This is why. It knows where I am. It knows that it's partly cloudy outside, so that's what it's showing in the background. I like that. Lots of cool other background settings. You can play with these on your own. I do like some of these other weather backgrounds. For example, this one's called Summer Night, and I just think it's really cool. It's got kind of some stars or fireflies there in the background. Really, really neat. Good look to it. All right, let's go down to premium. They do have premium options here, but I want to point this out, guys. Click on this, and it's $5. One time, $5, you get all the additional customization features. If this is something that you find yourself using, pay the $5. Just a shout out to the developer here. Give them $5. It's a pay once thing. It's not an ongoing subscription, which I really appreciate, and I think it's a fair price. So definitely worth it if you're going to use this a lot. Let's move down to the home screen settings. So rows, those are going to be the horizontal rows, and these are your settings for all the rows. But look at this. There's so many different options here. So you can change which ones are shown. So continue watching, for example, that's, you can see it disappear behind me here. That is the one that was on the home screen when I first loaded it up. So you can turn that on or turn that off. You can also go in here and reorganize it. If I want to move that down, I can move that down. This is amazing. There's so much customization. So this is the favorites bar. We played with that earlier. This is your all apps bar. We don't have to necessarily show that. I like to keep that at the bottom so I can see all my apps if I want to. And then you've got widgets. You can turn widgets on and off. So let me go to the home screen and show you what this looks like. These are actual widgets here. You've got Wi-Fi settings. You've got a weather widget. You've got a clock, date, and time widget. Very cool. Let me go back into the settings, go back down to rows. it definitely creates a different look and feel than what you're used to. Let me turn those widgets off. You also have more settings for customizing the look of those widgets. And then we've got a status bar. This is the bar on the top at the right. I'm gonna move that to the center, and I'm gonna add the weather to that. I wanna add the date to that. I can use media controls on that as well, and take a look. Now the media controls aren't gonna show up because I'm not playing any media, but now it's in the middle of my screen. It's got the weather there. I love that because that's a cool little status bar that makes a lot of sense to have on your home screen. Let me go back to that menu area again, status bar, and you can change these settings. We can take the network icon off if we don't want to see the Wi-Fi connectivity. If we're using Bluetooth controllers, we could turn the Bluetooth icon on and off. So much customization here. And then inside favorites, we have options for that favorites row. We can show the name of the row, show a background on the favorites. We can change the opacity, change the tint, change the outline, make it look like frosted glass. Lots of very cool options here. And I like this, pin favorites to the bottom. Watch this. So now when I do that, it pins that bar to the bottom. So that's going to show up at the bottom of the screen. And then if I scroll down with my remote, it shows the rest of my apps. All right, so let's go back into that rows section and go back to favorites. I want to turn that pin to bottom off just so we can get back to where we were. And now we'll go to the other options here. We've got all apps. That's the section in the bottom where it shows all the apps. We can turn that off. We can customize that. And then we've got a continue watching row that I showed you before. And again, we can customize this. Which sources do we want? Do we only want to show Netflix? Do we only want to show YouTube? You can decide if certain apps don't show continue watching. Very cool to see that customization because that's not something that we normally see easily accessible in Google TV. You can change how many cards are available. You can hide the titles as well, which is kind of cool, or you can make them display on top. And then you've got a recommendations bar, which you can turn on as well. These are the things that people don't necessarily like. I like the recommendations, so I'm going to turn that on, but you can have a recommendations row as well. And then you can create new rows. There's some customization in terms of adding new rows yourself, pick the apps yourself. Very cool. You can really set your home screen up the way you like it. Okay, under apps, we have a lot of options here. Many of these are premium options. So you'll notice this one has that little star circle icon next to where it says standard. That means in order to use this, you can change the shape, but you've got to pay for premium options. See what it says? It shows you a little preview of that different shape I selected, but it says you've got to unlock premium to use this. It's counting down on the timer, and now it's saying, yeah, you can't change that. So it's a cool way of giving you a little preview. I do like that. And again, I think $5 is fair. We can change the icon shape, the size, the icon pack, the app labels, the sort order, and hidden apps as well. And then underneath that, we've got animations and effects. This just lets you change more of the look and the feel, the animations that are built into this launcher. I really like this pulse glow effect. So take a look. When I select that, if I go down and move my cursor over an app here, you'll notice that it's sort of like pulsing as it's selected. Gives it a very cool futuristic look. I like that a lot. A couple more options I want to show you. So under device, you've got auto start. This lets you auto start an app when the launcher starts. So for example, if you've got somebody in your life who maybe isn't super tech savvy and uses only Netflix on their smart TV, well, you can set it to auto start Netflix whenever the box turns on. That way they don't have to worry about this menu. It'll literally just open up Netflix when the box turns on. I really like that option. You've got options for screensavers. You can play around with that, change the screensaver. You can change the language. You've got some navigation sounds. And this is really cool under data. I like this a lot. You can back up the settings on the Monet launcher. So what that means is you won't have to go through and reset everything up every time you do a fresh Google TV install. And they even have a setup code. So for example, I can click on this and it gives me a code. If I share this code with you, you can punch this code in this same section and it'll share my settings here on Monet with you. So it's a cool way to share your settings with other people, or maybe take this code to different TVs in your house, and that way you can replicate all these same settings on different TVs in your house where you have different Google TV boxes. I think the most important thing to notice is there's not a single ad on that entire interface. The only ad is trying to get you to upgrade to premium for $5. So check it out, guys. I've got a link to Monet down in the description. You can search for it in the Google Play Store, but if you have to sideload it, again, I've got a link to that and a link to my video that shows you how to sideload apps on Google TV. It's not complicated, but there are a few steps that you have to go through. And hopefully this video was helpful. Do me a huge favor. Let me know what launcher you prefer on your Google TV box. Put that down in the comments. Are you using ProjectIvy? Are you using Monet? Do you prefer the Google TV launcher that comes with your box, or is there another one that I haven't talked about? I'd love to hear about that too. And do me the biggest favor of them all, subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow here on YouTube, and that way I can keep pumping out more videos just like this. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.